Dear aspirants, welcome to my channel. This is an model question paper 1, mechanical engineering. Okay, concepts of mechanical engineering 2. Remaining 10 marks question. I have already 3 questions have explained. This is fourth and fifth question in this video. I'm going to explain. So explain, the question is explain any if operation can be performed. Drilling machine describes the purpose of each operation. Why we have to use different types of drilling machine operations and what is the use? Why we have to do? Coming to the drilling, first operation is a drilling. So what do you mean by drilling? We should know we have to make a round hole in a solid material using a rotating drill bit, that we call it as a drilling. We have to use a drilling bit. So coming to the purpose of drilling bit, which we can use it for new holes, bolts, screws or rivet components we are using. Okay. The next method is reaming. So what do you mean by reaming? We have to know. So what we have to do there, so after finishing operation performed by after drilling, the reaming slightly enlarge the hole. Reaming we can use it for only enlarging the holes. So what is the purpose of reaming? We'll see there. So we are using a really reaming purpose, improve the accuracy, size, surface finish, can already drilled hole. Okay. So next operation is boring. So what we have to use, what is the use of boring? Where you are to use enlarge an existing hole using a single point cutting tool, that is we call it as an boring. So what is the purpose of that boring, which we can use it for correct alignment and improve the diameter accuracy of the holes. So next will be next is counter boring. So already we have made the diameter. So what is the use of what is that counter boring? We have to use for enlarging the top portion of the hole, large diameter with a flat bottom. Top we have to make a large diameter, bottom will be a flat. The purpose which we can use it for accommodate bolt head or nut, so sit flush with a surface. So that purpose we are using. Next is counter sinking. So what is the use of what is that counter sinking, which will be produce a conical shape at the top of the hole. Coming to the purpose, which allow the counter sunk screws sit flush and below the surfaces. So these are the operation. Okay, we are using an operation drilling, reaming, boring, counter sinking, counter boring. These are essential to produce a accurate hole, proper fitting, fastening, good surface finish, and making a drill machine highly versatile and in the manufacturing. The next question is a component required external thread on a steel rod. Describes how thread cutting done with a lathe and mention the precautions to be taken. What are the precautions you are going to take by using a thread cutting? So what is that thread cutting? How you are going to, what the components you are going to use for thread cutting? So first what we have to do in the thread cutting, first we have to prepare the workpiece. So we have to take a workpiece. So what we have to do there, a steel rod hold chunk bit or centers, between centers, and diameter turn into a required size, and small chamfer made at the end with help start the threading. The next is setting the tool. So in that what we have to do, we have to use a single point threading tool. It may be an V shape or 60-degree we are using based on type of the threading we are prefer for the particular operation. The tool set exactly center height and perpendicular to the axis we have to place. Next will be in gear arrangement. So in the gear arrangement, changing the gear or set match pitch the thread. We have to set proper pitch of the thread, and lead screws engage with a moving carriage. We have to see the screws how it will be engaged while moving. The next one is enlarging the half nut. So it is a half nut lever. You should be engaged and connected to carriage with lead with make the lead screw, and ensure the correct synchronization between the tool and workpiece. Like that we have to use the engaging half nut. And next will be in cutting the thread. So here what we have to do, we have to feed the tool fed gradually into the work using a compound rest, and later run the lower speed. First we have to start with the lower speed. Multiple light cuts taken until the thread depth is achieved. So lathe started running, in that is started cutting with a thin deep thread we have to achieve. Then coming to the checking the thread. So you have to check the thread using a thread gauge nut. What type of the means what diameter of the thread we need, we have to check the thread gauge, and finally finishing the passing. You just see where it is, you will get accurate. So coming to the precautions to be taken. So what are the precautions to be taken? First is correct the tool setting. So when you are starting the operation, we have to check the whether the tools are properly. We'll see here. Too much be center height properly aligned. Incorrect setting leads to a fault threading. You just how to place the tool also, it is very important. Next is proper speed selection. So here we have to see the spindle speed. The low spindle speed avoid the damage and errors. We have to go for low. And adequate lubrication. Apply cutting fluid to reduce the heat and improve the surface finish. And you have to apply oil on the surface. Next is light cuts. In that light cuts, we have to avoid heavy cuts. Okay. Take gradually depth to prevent the brokerage. Next, accurate gearing setting. You have to properly, you have to set the here. Ensure you have to check correct gear ratio which is required for a particular thread pitch. Next is engage the off nut properly. You have to engage correct position, maintain the thread accuracy. You have to what type of the means what diameter of thread which we have to require, that you have to set it. Next will be in tool sharpness. Here what we have to do in the use sharp tool to clean and accurate threading. Okay. If the content is useful, please subscribe my channel, share and support. Thank you.